Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jess. If not, welcome back. Today I have a very exciting video. From the title, as you can see, is a full face of makeup using brands that I've never used before. So there are, I think, two exceptions, Milk and Lancome, that I have used before, but just very few products. So if you guys want to see how I got this really interesting look, then just keep watching. I'm going to start off with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. Everyone that I've seen so far loves this product for the most part, so I'm really excited to try it. I do have dry skin, so the hydro part kind of gets me and to have like a nice grippy primer. So I'm going to go ahead and pump this out. It wants to come out. There we go. Really cool jelly-like consistency. Smells interesting. I don't really know how to describe it. Do a little bit more for the forehead. A little bit on the nose. So definitely very, very tacky. I'm hoping this keeps my makeup on all night. Alright, now that that is on, I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit closer. So for foundation, I picked up the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Long Wear Foundation and Concealer. Now I did pick up another concealer, so I won't be using this as concealer. But this is really cool because it has a pump if you want to use it for foundation. And then if you wanted to use it as a concealer, it has like this doe foot, which is super cool. So that if you wanted to, you could use this as concealer. And I have mine in the color MN5. I really hope this is a good match because I picked this up online. So you never know what you're gonna get. Just dab that on. Doesn't look like it's gonna be too bad of a match. And that was just one pump. I might put maybe like a half pump more. I've got some real rough skin right now, so just excuse that. And I'm just going to use my Sonia Kashuk sponge to blend it out. I've never tried anything from Pure, but I know a lot of people love like their not complexion products, their bronzers and blush, so I'm super excited to try this out. I haven't seen too many people review this, so I'm not really sure what my expectations are. I'm just gonna blend this out. I'm just gonna add a little bit more to the points that I want a little bit more coverage. We'll definitely say this is like a medium to full coverage, just because I have a lot of like imperfections here that it did a really good job covering up. Moving on to concealer, I bought the Jouer, let's see, this is the Jouer Essentials High Coverage Liquid Concealer. Again, I bought this online, so it definitely looks a little light, but we're gonna give it a go. I've heard nothing but good things about this, and I've never tried anything from Jouer. Wow, this applicator is so long. Can you guys see that? Anyway, I've never tried anything from Jouer, and I know that they have a lot of like bronzer duos, blush duos, and lip products that they're really well known for. So, wow, that is really, really light. Definitely lighter than I would usually go. So, note to self, oh, this is in the shade Creme Cafe. So note to self, go one up from that, or maybe even two next time. Blending that in with my beauty sponge. I'm not sure if it's the color that I got. I know it says a high coverage concealer, but I just don't feel like this covered anything at all. And I don't think that it's picking up on camera because it looks pretty bright on camera to me. But I definitely still see some like blues and purples that are coming out from my bags, like my under eye bags. So I'm going to put just a little bit more I definitely feel like this dries pretty quickly, so maybe do one eye at a time. All right, that made it a little bit better. For powder, I am going to try this Cover FX, a perfect setting powder. I got the little mini travel size. I love how Sephora, a lot of the brands at Sephora offer travel size, so you can kind of get a feel for the brands before you throwing all of your money into it. Oh, this is cute packaging. So the packaging on this has like a little sifter lid. That's cute, so it doesn't get everywhere. So I'm just gonna tap a little bit of this into the cap. First of all, go under the eye, make sure none of the creases are there. I typically use the Hourglass setting powder, and I do bake with it, but just for a quick second, just because my under eye bags are so dry. But this, I don't know how it performs, so I'm not gonna bake with this, just gonna kind of set everything in place. Yeah, that concealer, it's not even sticky at all, so I really don't need to set it, but I'm going to just in case, just because I do have to wear this all night. I am going to work, so I will be wearing it for probably a good 9-10 hours. Then I'm just going to take a really fluffy brush and put it all over my face. I have heard quite a lot of good things about this Cover FX setting powder. I know that I think they have a hydrating one. Actually, don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure. But I have heard good things about them. Oh, my face looks pretty good. It does feel a little bit dry, but I will fix that with some setting spray here in a minute. Moving on to bronzer and blush. From Wander Beauty, I got this Trip for Two blush and bronzer duo, and it's super pretty here. Start off with the bronzer, and this is the shade Wow. Going into the bronzer did give me quite a bit of kick up. I didn't think that I rubbed in there too hard, but I guess I did. So there is a lot of kick up, and it's kind of like all over my desk now. I just tapped off the extra just because I don't want to go too heavy-handed, although I definitely am known for going heavy-handed with bronzer. So I'm gonna just kind of barely work this in because I definitely got way too much. So definitely go in with a light hand if you're gonna purchase this, because it's a lot of pigment. Sorry, I am all over the place today, guys. I was super tired, so I decided to take a nap, which was not a good idea. My husband's working on his motorcycle right outside, so it was like one of those like naps that you take where you're like half awake and half asleep at the same time, and you wake up even more tired than you were before. That's me right now. I'm struggling to find words. But life goes on. I have to get ready for work. So I'm really hoping that this turns out halfway decent because I do have to go to work. All right, so this is a lot of bronzer. So I'm gonna go back in with my powder brush and just kind of see if I can't fix this a little bit. Don't know if that really helped, but whatever. All right, so moving on to the blush in this duo. It is called Daiquiri. Really like pinky blush, which I actually don't mind. Also very pigmented, so light hand, which of course I didn't do. Oh wow, that is so pretty, but so pigmented. Oh my goodness, y'all, I'm gonna look like a clown by the end of this video. And then I'm gonna have to start all over. Just kidding, hopefully not. Take a little bit on the bridge of the nose, get a little sun-kissed look there. And then again, because I went too heavy-handed, I'm gonna go back in with my powder brush and just kind of go over it. And for highlighter, you guys, I am so freaking excited for this. I have never tried anything from Lunar Beauty, which is Manny MUA here on YouTube. It's his makeup brand, and this packaging is so pretty. I'm obsessed with stars, moon, sun. I have them tattooed on me, so I'm just obsessed. So this packaging is everything. Like, look at this. How freaking pretty. Ta-da! Look at the compact on this. I need to get my life together. So pretty. Oh wow. I don't remember buying it like this pinky one. For some reason I thought I got more of like a whitish gold, but let's hope to God this doesn't look bad. So I'm just going to tap into that. Wow, that is so pretty. That is real icy for it to be a pink highlight. Oh, you can definitely see the pink though. I'm sure it's blinding on camera, but don't know if it'll pick it up. That is so pretty. Good thing I chose a very pinky blush for it to go with. Bring a little on the nose, the chin. And I didn't dip back in because I just don't like the center of my face being too highlighted. And then I'm gonna take a little bit on my finger and get the Cupid's bow. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this for you guys because it is just stunning. So pretty. Because my face is feeling a little bit dry, I am going to take the Cover FX Dewy Finish Setting Spray, and I got this again in like a mini size. It has this little like shaker in it, little ball in it, so not really sure why. It says shake very well before use and hold 8 to 10 inches away from the face. Okay. Very fine mist. I like it. I will also be using that later to set my whole face. Moving on to a very exciting part for me, eyes. I feel like I'm always most excited for eyes and lips for some reason. So for eyes, I bought the Melt Cosmetics. This is the Impulse Press Pigment Palette. This is a super cool palette. Like they had the 27 palette and the Gemini palette and one of the stacks at Sephora, but I went for this bad boy because it is beautiful. Look at all of the colors. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing because I didn't grab an eyeliner. We're going to see how this plays out. And I really feel like there's like no transition shades in here. So what I'm going to do is go into the bronzer and use the bronzer as my transition shade. And I'm also going to have to go in with a light hand on that one just because so much pigment. That is just one dip into the bronzer. Usually when I use a bronzer as a transition shade, I have to build it up quite a bit. This was just bam, in your face. All right, now that we've got that down. Wow, there are so many shimmers in this palette, I just realized. I think I want to go in with Rule Breaker, which is this really pretty orange right here. And start to put that a little bit lower. I'm going to go in with a very light hand on this and put that just a little bit lower than where I put the bronzer. Wow, so freaking pigmented. Now, I've never tried anything from I've never tried anything from any of these brands with the exception of the Milk primer, but I have heard and seen nothing but good things about Melt Cosmetics eyeshadows and lip products. And now I know they just came out with like some highlighters that looked super impressive. Wow, that is so pretty. I just barely dipped into that. I'm bringing it all the way into the inner corner. And then I think I want to go in with 2012, which is the shade right next to it, this beautiful yellow. And I think I want to put this just on like the inner half of the crease using this same brush still. It's like a very mustardy yellow, orangish yellow kind of shade. And I'm just taking that in the inner half. All right, it changed it up just a little bit and made it just a little bit lighter on the inner half there. And I'm going to take my original transition shade brush with no additional product. Just kind of make sure everything is looking good everywhere. No harsh lines. Right, I think I want to deepen the outer corner. I think I want to go in with Bold. Bold might be a little too similar to Rule Breaker, but I think I want to go in with this shade right here. I'm going to go in with a super small kind of like domed brush. This is the Morphe M506 brush. I'm just going to like tap this into the outer corner and really work it in. And once I have most of the product patted down in the outer corner, I'm going to bring it about a third of the way into the crease. My left eye, for some reason, always gets patchy and I hate it. It's just, I think it's just my eye because my right one always looks good. There's always that one eye that does better than the other. All right, I think I like the way this is coming along. So I really want to brighten up the inner half of the eye. So I think what I might do, I think I want to go in with Morning After, which is this beautiful like dark shimmery shade, and kind of put that in the center of the eye. Let's see what that does. I'm going to go in with my finger. I just barely touched into that. This is so freaking pretty. These are so soft and buttery. I don't want it to be too sparkly or else I would probably wet a brush and do this. But this is just blending into that kind of like dark brown shade that I put on the outer corner really, really nicely. I'm going to go back in with the brush that I used for Bold and just kind of blend those together and go over the edge of that. I know it's a little late to do this, but I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit more. And then go in on the left side. So stunning. I'm so sorry, my camera died. So I'm not really sure what I left off on, but I just matched the left eye, and then I am going to go in with, I think I want to, I don't know which one I want to go in with. It's between, this one is Makeup Junkie, and then this one is Poppin' Bottles. Don't know which one I want to do. If I want to keep the look purpley, I think I'm going to go with Poppin' Bottles. This could be a big mistake, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go with Poppin' Bottles. And just put that, forever dropping shit. And just put that on the inner corner. Oh no, this one has more of a green tint to it, which I was not expecting. So I'm going to go over it with Makeup Junkie, just to kind of keep that like purplish color going. I'm going to go over it with Makeup Junkie, sorry. Wow, that is so pretty. These shimmers, guys, will just everything. There is quite a bit of kick up, but these are pressed pigments, so I believe, yeah, pressed pigments. And they probably will stain your eye, especially like the brighter colors like the yellows and the oranges. I really want to play with these greens, which I probably should have done, but there's always next time. But so just be mindful of that. I don't really care about kick up just because I typically always dust my brushes off. So if that's a big thing for you, you might not like this, but I mean, this is just phenomenal. Melt will definitely be getting more of my money. So I'm gonna go back in. This is so crazy. So let me see, Poppin' Bottles on the eyes came across green, but whenever you look at it in certain light, it kind of goes like purpley pink. I don't know if you guys can catch that shift. Let me give you guys a swatch. I don't mean to flick you guys off, sorry. So you can kind of see here, don't mind the top swatch. The top swatch is the Lunar Beauty highlighter, but I'm gonna try this, but I don't think it's gonna work. But I don't, do you guys see that shift on this shade here? It looks green, but when you look at it in certain lights, there's like a purple hint to it, purpley pink tint to it. So that's why I thought it would look good with this look, but I don't know, it just came across green on the eyes. So I'm gonna go do this eye. Oh wow. The shade Makeup Junkie is so pretty. It's a little bit chunkier than the other two shimmers like Poppin' Bottles and Morning After, but it is still beautiful. All right, I'm gonna go back in with Morning After just to kind of make it pop a little bit more. I feel like it got lost a little there. And then because I feel like I lost a few of the colors in the crease, I'm gonna go back through the crease just to kind of define that a little bit more. On the inner corner, I am going to go in with 2012, which is that yellowy shade, and I'm gonna just use that right here, just to kind of bring it a little bit back, bring it back a little. And also clean up that shimmer. And then back into Rule Breaker, which is that deep orange shade that we kind of lost on the outer corner here. It almost looks reddish now that I'm using it again. Interesting. You guys see that? Cool. And then back in with my original transition brush and just go back over everything. I wish that there was like a yellowish shimmer so I can put it in the inner corner, but there isn't. So I'm not really too sure what I'm going to use for the inner corner. I would use the highlighter that I used on my face, but it's a little too pinky. That Lunar Beauty one's a little too pinky for me, so I'm going to attempt using Poppin' Bottles one more time, but I'm going to use it wet, which is this first shade that I ended up changing. So I'm gonna wet it just a little bit using that Cover FX setting spray. Actually, that ties quite well with that yellow. Wow, that is so pretty. And then just whatever is left on the brush, I'm going to lightly put this underneath my brow bone, underneath my eyebrows, on my brow bone, sorry. This is definitely an interesting look using like yellow, orange, and purple, but I like it, can't complain. And then for eyeliner, this is really, really weird, but for eyeliner and lip liner, I got one of these Make Up For Ever Artist Color Pencils, and this is a multi-use pencil, so you could use it on your eyes, on your lips. So I'm going to use it on both today, and hopefully this doesn't come out terrible. But this is in the shade Earth, which is like a really pretty brownish purple. So I'm going to tightline and put this in my waterline. And I really hope that this looks good. I'm gonna have to get really close to my mirror, so I apologize in advance. I think this look would look pretty good with like a small wing, but I didn't get eyeliner, so can't do that. I don't know if you guys can see it on the waterline, but it looks red, like bright red on the waterline. I really hope that you guys can see that. So I don't necessarily like the way this looks on its own for the waterline, so I'm gonna take a couple of colors and put some color underneath my lower lash line just because I feel like I need a little something. So I'm going to take both Rule Breaker, which is this orange, and then 2012, which is this yellow here, and just buff those along the lower lash line. Rule Breaker, which is the orange, I'm going to keep pretty close to the lower lash line and use it to kind of smoke out that eyeliner. Then I'm going into 2012 just to kind of diffuse that and bring it a little bit lower than Rule Breaker. And then to tie some of the purple in, I'm going to take, I think I want to take Makeup Junkie, which is the one I have in the inner corner of the eye, or like inner part of the eye, and put that just on the inner lower lash line, really close to where I put the highlight. I'm also going to wet this just so it sticks a little bit with a little less fallout, just because this shade was pretty chunky. I'm really missing some black eyeliner in this, but I forgot some. For mascara, I'm going to use the Lancome Monsieur Big, which is like everyone's favorite mascara. I think I've tried when I was younger maybe some of their skincare products, but never any of their makeup. So I'm excited to try this. Again, I got this in a travel size, and everyone raves about this. If you know Kathleen Lights on YouTube, I talk about it all the time, so you should. But that's like her favorite mascara that she always uses. So I curled my lashes first. This looks like a natural hair wand, which is pretty cool. Let's give this a shot. I'll probably do 2 coats of this. And I really hope that I can apply this without getting any smudges on my eyeshadow, but that never happens, so I'll most likely end up getting some on my eyeshadow and having to redo it. Typical me. Pretty good. It definitely lengthened on that first coat. So we'll see what the second coat does. I'm going to go ahead and curl my other lash. Curl my other lashes. Hello. Words are hard. I was told that if you want more volume when applying mascara is to take it at the root, wiggle it, and bring it up. It could just be me, but I feel like it works. Moving on to the second coat. This is a very wet mascara, so it kind of left a few marks down on my left eye. So just beware. If you like more drier formulas, you might not like this. I just stabbed myself in the eye. Okay. Moving on. I've stabbed myself about 3 times with this damn wand. So I got some down on my lower lash line. So I will have to take a Q-tip to that in a minute. I'm gonna let it dry first. I have like 3 lower eyelashes, so I typically don't put mascara on the bottom lash line, but because I don't have any black eyeliner for this look, it looks really strange, so I'm going to put just a little bit on my lower lashes. Now I just look like I have spiders coming out of my eyes. Anyway, so those are the eyes done. Not terrible, but not the best I've ever done. Definitely different, mixing all of the oranges, yellows, and purples. My eyes burn so bad because of the mascara. There's so much mascara in my eyes right now. Anyway, moving on to lips. I'm going to line my lips with this earth shade and hope to God that I bought a lipstick that matches. Again, disclaimer, in most of my videos, I suck at lining my lips. A, because they are uneven, and B, just because I suck at outlining lips. So bear with me, it's not gonna be pretty. This is so pigmented. And I'm gonna go ahead and fill them in just on the outer part. You would think the more that I line my lips, I'd get better at it, but I haven't. Okay, for lips, from RMS Beauty. I've always been intrigued by this brand, and I don't think they've been at Sephora for very long, but I got this super cute like little mini set with 5 lipsticks. Let's see what colors I got. So here are all of them swatched. First we have Unmistakable, then Temptation, then Nightfall, then Jezebel, and then Masquerade. I think I'm going to go in with Nightfall and then maybe tap some of Unmistakable in the center. How that actually matches the lip liner almost perfect, or eyeliner, or whatever it is. This is probably the worst I've ever applied lipstick in my life. So sorry. Okay, I'm gonna take Unmistakable, which is the lightest nude, and just kind of tap that in the center. And then for the last step, I'm going to go back in with that dewy setting spray and just spray one last time. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you guys think? Again, I apologize for the real shitty lipstick job. And overall, I really enjoyed every product with the exception of, I think, the bronzer and the blush. It's a little too pigmented to me, or for me personally. I like something that I can build just because I do have a really heavy hand when it comes to blush and bronzer. But it's still beautiful and I still really like the colors. I think it came out great. The foundation I am really, really loving. I feel like now that I'm looking at it, it is slightly dark. We are going into winter, so I am starting to lose my tan. So I feel like had I used this in the beginning of the summer, it would have looked perfect. And I really do like the kind of coverage. I've been going for a lot more light coverage foundations lately, and I have really terrible skin right now. So this just pretty much covered everything, which I'm super happy about. Like I said, everything I pretty much liked with the exception of the blush and bronzer. Not saying that it's bad, just personally not for me. I will use it just because I do have it and I don't like to waste things. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am so sorry that this video is all over the place. I haven't filmed in probably about a month, so it was a little all over the place, and by a little I mean a lot. But thank you guys so much for bearing with me. Until next time, bye guys.